Hello and welcome to the very first installment of Ask Solomon, where you ask me questions and I answer them. Today I'm answering a rather old question from Welcome to Crumple Zone, who wants to know how I cut my hair. Now, if it wasn't already apparent just by looking at this mess that I have up here, I cut my own hair. Now, there are several reasons for this. The first reason is that it saves money. A one-time investment into a decent pair of clippers, in fact I didn't even pay for these were the property of my late paternal grandfather, amounts to less money over time than the multiple barbershop visits you'd otherwise have. The second reason is that it takes less time. When you go to a barbershop, you have to get ready, you have to transport yourself to the shop, you have to wait around, you have to have the haircut, and then you have to go back home, or wherever you're headed. Meanwhile, I can do the whole operation by myself at home whenever I want, and it takes less time overall. The third reason is that although I get a better quality haircut at a barber, I can do a good enough job by myself that the extra quality offered by a barber is not justified by the money and time I have to invest, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's get into the haircut. So the very first thing you do, of course, is to plug the clippers into a power supply. Then I use the clipper attachment that says 7 on it. What I believe this means is that it trims your hair so that it is the length of 7/8 of an inch. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I use for the top of my head. So I just go over my hair like this, so that it's nice and short on the top, okay? That's the simplest, easiest part. Then I trim the back and sides a little bit shorter. I use a clipper attachment with the length of 2, meaning I think 2/8 of an inch. I used to use a clipper length of 1 for the back and sides, but that made it very short and I feel as if it was a little bit too trendy. So I like going with a 2 now. And to get the bits behind your ears, you can simply fold your ears down like so. Doing the back can be a little bit tricky. What I like to imagine is that there's like a halo starting at my hairline, going all the way around, and I can use my fingers to guide me according to said halo. It is a little bit tricky at first. You can have a friend or a family member there to guide you. What I sometimes do is I have a handheld mirror in front of me with another mirror in my rear, and I look into the handheld mirror and I use that to guide me while I'm doing the rear. Okay, after I've done that, and it looks nice and good from the back and sides, I use a pair of scissors. This is the thumbnail shot, by the way, or something. I probably look creepy. I use a pair of scissors to trim any bits, any tufts of hair that are sticking out on the back and sides. And then it's done. That is how I cut my hair. Now, of course, you don't have to do it in exactly the same way as me. You can experiment, see what looks good on you. If you want to still keep going to a barber, which, you know, of course, if you want a more professional looking haircut, I can understand. You can still employ some of these techniques. You can go to the barber and have a nice hipster quiff, or whatever you get done there. And as it grows out, you can keep the back and sides in check, say with a clipper attachment of 3. That looks pretty good. And that way you don't have to keep going to the barber every time you look a little bit disheveled. You can just keep it in good nick by yourself and only go to the barber when you really have to. That's all. Thank you kindly for watching, and I really appreciate every one of you for all the questions I received. It's just overwhelming, and I'll answer as many of them that I can. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.